Hello YouTube, welcome to the channel. I'm your resident Jamoki Sardonic Sage. In this video, we're going to take a look at the latest rumor mill regarding Spider-Man. Is Sony bringing back Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire for Spider-Man 4? So, 3 days ago, this article came out from Giant Freaking Robot. Exclusive, Sam Raimi returning to direct more Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. Now, this is my first video on YouTube. I've been wanting to get involved in the pop culture, geek community, giving my takes, sharing them with others, having a discourse about all this stuff. And I'm kind of breaking the rules I had set for myself when I was going to get into this, and that was not to kind of report on rumors, because I believe that they can get clickbaity. I think there's contextually a good place where you can go and report on this, but 3 days ago I saw this pop up and I was like, oh, okay, here we go. More Spider-Man rumors. Generally, a lot of these sites, especially We Got This Covered, they cover pretty much every possibility regarding every property and every casting. To the point where eventually you're just going to Jar Jar Binks your way into being right and claim that you had the scoop. A broken clock. What's the saying? Broken clock is right twice a day. So a lot of these sites I feel kind of fall in that category where they just throw this out there. So I saw this article, found it interesting. I would love it for it to happen. And then I saw that Mickey Sutton over at Geekosity had made mention that Tobey Maguire was in talks to star in a new Spider-Man film. So this was reported yesterday. So Sutton's a little more credible in the scoop realm than, say, Giant Freaking Robot. So anyway, I have no dog in this fight in regards to credibility, but I don't trust rumors. This one has me have a little bit of hopium because I just love the Raimi universe that much. I'm burying the lead here. Let's finally get into this article. The first paragraph here, Tobey Maguire and Sam Raimi helped define the modern era of superhero cinema with Spider-Man, a landmark film that became a blockbuster success and spawned 2 sequels. Some have called Raimi's trilogy one of the best examples of a classic superhero storytelling and yearn for a return to this kind of formalist approach to mass adventures. I would agree. I do miss that approach. With reports that the actor and director would be reteaming for some parts of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, fans have been speculating whether or not this could signal a full-fledged return to Spider-Man for the 2. Well, it just so happens that Giant Freaking Robot has managed to nab some exclusive information that points towards that exact future. Okay. According to one of our trusted and proven inside sources, Sony wants Tobey Maguire and Sam Raimi to reunite for another Spider-Man movie. The hope is to have Raimi direct a movie starring Maguire that would somehow work as a spin-off from whatever takes place in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Just exactly how much this spin-off would be able to directly reference anything from Marvel Cinematic Universe is unclear. However, our source says the studio wants this to be a multiverse spin-off, so we assume there will be some acknowledgement of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but there may not be any direct appearances from any of those characters. This project would stand on its own 2 legs. So right now, we're already kind of covering our bases. Would acknowledge the Marvel Cinematic Universe, most likely be out of it. It's unclear. This is why it's hard for me to take this shit seriously. Moving along, frankly, it would be great to see Tobey Maguire and Sam Raimi make a total return to the Spider-Man saga. Spider-Man 3 was infamously compromised by studio interference and ended up closing out Raimi and Maguire's time with the character. That is true, and it sucked. Sadly, it went out on something of a sour note for most audiences and does not seem to have left a positive impression as the years have gone on. Getting Maguire and Raimi back to come back, possibly leave the series on a much higher note, seems like a good enough reason to have them come back. If they deliver something really special, it could recontextualize all of their other movies in a really exciting way. Alright, I'm not going to go... okay, we're near the end here, so I might as well finish it. However, we should reiterate that our source is saying that Sony is the entity that is looking towards this potential project. Neither Maguire nor Raimi has officially signed on or shown a vested interest in the project. That's what was stated at this time 3 days ago, and then Sutton's reporting that Maguire's in talks to star in a role. So this is pretty much all speculation, with scoops being claimed, and I'm only covering this because I have an affinity for the Raimi films, especially Spider-Man 1 and 2. Spider-Man 2 especially, I think, is one of the best, probably in the top 3 superhero movies of all time, if you're looking at it from the formalist approach that they were mentioning in their article. I do not dislike Tom Holland as Spider-Man, but the MCU Spider-Man with Holland does not feel like Peter Parker to me. It's Iron Boy. And he does a great job being Iron Boy, but I miss Peter Parker. And while Raimi had the organic web shooters, and I know there's a lot of people out there that really took issue with that, I will take that compromise over having what we have in the MCU. That's just my own personal take. Maybe it's sacrilegious for me to say that, but I didn't like the leaning so heavily on Tony Stark with the MCU. And it's really taken me out of following that character and being invested in it. I did enjoy Infinity War and Endgame, and there was an emotional moment in Endgame between Stark and Peter. But yeah, so I guess we'll see what comes of this. I won't be covering many rumor-oriented style articles unless it shows any inkling of potential teeth. I felt that this kind of did. So yeah, thank you for coming along on the journey of my first video. I hope that I will improve with time. I know I got a little lengthy and wordy here and rambly. My mouth is dry. But I'll catch you on the next one, and talk to you soon.